I'm a lighting designer, so movies, TV shows, concerts, festivals. I set up the lights and I like run the lights during the shows. If you ever been to like a rave and you see all the cool, colorful lights and stuff, I do that. So I actually was just on tour with a band called Foreigner for 2 months, all across America. Yeah. So you're Haitian.
Mm-hmm.
Tu parles français?
No.
No, that's okay. I'm actually just starting to learn French. It's been like 2 years, but it's through Duolingo, which is an app on the phone.
I use the same thing
Yeah,
because I was like, I can't be a fake Haitian anymore. I can't do it. You can definitely see what kind of people put what needs first, and there'll definitely be some people with the smallest pockets, and they'll empty it just for that piece. And I never understood that with the passion, because jewelry is one thing that the world doesn't need. It's the thing that the world wants.
First off, maybe have you been sexually active?
Yes.
Okay, just you never know if you haven't dated. Maybe you're just like,
yo, sorry, that was funny as fuck.
Things that I like. Obviously, I love oral. I love having like my balls sucked, played with. Definitely feels like really good.
Do you like your nipples sucked?
I've only had that happen like once or twice, and at first I was like, through like watching porn in the past, like why do people like even do that shit? But it does.
I do a great job. I'll tell you that much. I do a great job.
That's good to know.
Put a
If ever,
crown
that's good to know. I'm kind of packing, so I know that sometimes like I can't be too rough with a girl, so I usually just like ease into it, and I'm definitely like real.
Like you're big and like bulky, like mostly bulky?
I'm big dick. I'm packing.
Oh.
So what I'm saying is like if you have a big dick and you're fucking somebody rough, usually you could kind of So for the most part, I'm.
Ago, it's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know. So yeah. Today, we got our second blind date ever on the podcast. I'm excited for this. Right here, we got two individuals that don't know each other from a hole in the wall. And we're going to see if we, can see some sparks happen. And this is going to happen within 3 stages, right? The first stage is simple. They'll get to know each other. Names, where you from, likes, dislikes, da-da-da-da. What you like to eat, maybe, catching a few slick lines here and there. The second is really more about relationships. Like what you truly like about being with someone and what you truly don't like about being with someone. And the third part is just letting them flow with it. Letting them do whatever they like within that conversation. Seeing if their interests find each other attractive. You know what I'm saying? Now, how we're going to begin is through the first stage. And through every segment, every little break in between, we'll have a segment where my guy right here can touch my girl right here in a certain spot if she's okay with it. And you can touch him in a certain spot if he's okay with it. And from there, we go on to the next step, the next phase. You guys understand?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds cool.
All right, bet. So we're going to begin right now. Get to know each other.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice
Partially.
To meet you too.
My name's Tiambay.
My name's Celine.
Celine, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm 29 years old. I'm a Brooklyn native. I've lived in Staten Island for a little bit, but as soon as I could get back to Brooklyn, I made sure I was back out here. How about yourself?
You said Staten Island?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 25. I just turned 25, end of July.
Okay.
I have moved around a lot. Like if people ask me where I'm from, I'll either just say New York in general, or I'll just be like Queens. But I've lived in Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, lived in Florida for years. We moved around a lot. And now I'm in Flushing, but
Okay.
it's new. I kind of just moved there because I found the place, but in the space, I think Flushing in general is just kind of cool because it's a completely different like culture that I'm around. Like I'm around a lot of Koreans. It broadened my food definitely because I'm a picky eater, but I have definitely tried a couple of things trying to merge. But yeah.
That's what's up. So do you like traveling?
I like physically being in different places. In terms of physically getting there, I don't like actually traveling there. I don't like long car rides or trains, or I hate planes, but I'll do it if I need to get there, because clearly, you can't get there without getting there, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those thug it out kind of things, I'm going to complain on the way maybe, but I'm going to thug it
But
out.
you'll do it.
Exactly.
That's the important part.
Like, because I recently went to Texas to celebrate my birthday, and then I went to Houston. My
Okay,
flight back, rocky. That was,
How long is the flight?
it was 4 hours,
4
and
hours.
I didn't realize that I would physically watch the hour difference change. I kid you not. I thought we were getting home at like 7:30, an hour earlier, and I kid you not, 5 minutes later, we were a full hour away, and I was like, wow, okay.
That's funny. When were you in Houston? Because I was actually just there as well for work.
The end of July. I came back here on the 31st, so I was there the 20-something to the 31st.
Nice. Yeah, we might have been there around the same time. That's cool. That's
wow.
cool. Yeah. But yeah, so born and raised in Brooklyn. I do love traveling, but like I said, born and raised in Brooklyn, so I haven't lived in many places. The only culture I really know, living-wise, is definitely like the New York culture. I've been blessed to be on kind of both ends of it. I've lived in really like rich neighborhoods. I've lived in neighborhoods that weren't so rich. I've just gotten a really good feel of New York City.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think I would stay here forever. My future goal is to have 2 places, hopefully 2 houses. But if I have to do like a house and an apartment, I'll settle for that. But I'd like to have a house in New York, preferably Brooklyn, and then like an apartment in Paris or something.
Ooh.
I like traveling, so like I just would like to have that accessibility, like, all right, bomb, got a place in Europe, so now I can get places quicker. And yeah, I'm also partially French, so that has something to do with a little bit of why I'd like to, specifically maybe Paris.
Understandable.
Yeah.
How many places have you been to?
Wow, so vacation-wise, I've been to like 9 places. I've been to Turkey, Ireland, France, Barbados, Bahamas, so actually not 9 places. But then actually just recently for work, so I'm a lighting designer, so movies, TV shows, concerts, festivals. I set up the lights and I like run the lights during the shows. If you've ever been to like a rave and you see all the cool, colorful lights and stuff, I do that. So I actually was just on tour with a band called Foreigner for 2 months, all across America. So yeah, I've been to like 25 states actually within 2 months.
Wow.
So I've traveled quite a lot.
There we go. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So what's the coolest place you've been to? Like, have you been outside of the country?
I have not traveled as much as you. I haven't been to as many places as you. In general, I've been to Canada.
Okay.
We were in Ontario. I've been to Haiti. Haiti I've been to most, because I'm Haitian.
Cool.
And that would be it for outside of the country. And then inside, I've been to Florida, I've been to Atlanta, Houston, Jersey. I've been around Jersey, like Atlantic City, Ocean City.
Okay.
Been around different parts upstate of New York, and then I have been to Philly, and then also Boston, and I definitely feel like I'm missing something.
But you've been to quite a few places, more than I would like. You started off real like calm, like humble. I was like, oh, she's been to like 2 or 3 places. You named quite a few, so that's cool. You've gotten around a little bit, and you're still young, so you can travel as much as you want.
Definitely merging.
Yeah. So you're Haitian.
Mm-hmm.
Tu parles français?
No.
No, that's okay. I'm actually just starting to learn French. It's been like 2 years, but it's through Duolingo, which is an app on the phone.
I use the same thing,
Yeah,
because I was like, I can't be a fake Haitian anymore. I can't do it.
I love it, but I just like don't always have the time. I do a lot of different things, so but I'm definitely learning some things. I'm Nigerian and French, so my name is Tiambay. That's Nigerian. You said you were Haitian, so I just thought that I'd like put that out there. Yeah. I've never been to Nigeria. At some point, I definitely plan to go.
You should.
Yeah, I can definitely plan to go.
I feel like visiting a homeland is always important, like
Mm-hmm.
just so you can at least get in touch with your people, your culture. It's just a reminder that, you know, that it is a portion of who you are, and you don't necessarily have to, like, you know, especially if you are like American raised kind of thing, like, you know, it does defer you from like being like really into the culture, because you're definitely different. Like if I go to Haiti now, like everyone knows I'm American. I think
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
clothes, maybe the talk too, but like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely strays you away, but not necessarily like, you know, you don't have to be like this super like to the core, like, oh, I'm gonna fake be this thing that I've also never been to this place before, kind of, you know, you don't have to like,
Yeah, 1000%.
but you also want to be able to have like, you know, touches to your roots, just for yourself, really. I think
Straight up, yeah, I think that's extremely important, especially if you like, well, for yourself, because it just helps you like, you know, be able to like identify yourself, you know, and if you're gonna have
Exactly.
kids one day, you want to be able to pass those things on.
Exactly.
It builds up confidence as well, you know, knowing where you're from. Yeah, I think that definitely builds up confidence. So it's something I'm definitely looking forward to doing. I know as soon as I get there, I'm gonna feel so proud, and yeah.
You
So,
will, you will.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
like I don't I don't speak Creole, Haitian Creole,
Gotcha.
but I can cook all the food that there is, and then I have been there on the occasions that I have been there.
Mm-hmm.
Haiti right now isn't a safe zone, so I can't really say I have a potential plan for a visit. But when I have been there, you know, when it was more peaceful, really, Haiti is beautiful. Oh my
I can
goodness!
only imagine.
And the land my family has over there, huge. So it definitely, it feels good when you're there. It really does. Like I feel like, just especially if you do end up kind of visiting a place that kind of helps you also be comfortable, like, you know, you don't, because sometimes if you think about going there, you really do kind of think you'd be like an outsider, like, you know, you won't really know where you're going, especially if you've never been there before and you don't really have like a designated family house there, and they, you know, y'all been in contact, so it's easier to like merge back into, like, I definitely see how that's, you know, a little harder. But I guess if you plan your trip kind of well in advance or deep enough, you know, that it won't be too bad or too nervous for you, really.
Yeah.
I guess.
Totally. I've only been to, and this was like a year or two ago. Well, twice I've been to Paris. The first time was with an ex-girlfriend in like 2017, and then I went alone 2 years ago, and that was like an amazing experience because it was like my first
Solo
time.
trip.
Yeah, solo trip. I played it smart. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say I played it smart. I tried to stay in an area, like living-wise, in an Airbnb. I tried to stay in an area that was like close to where I stayed the last time. That way I was just like familiar in case like there was ever an emergency. There's always protests going down in France. So like, you know, it's just things to think about. But anyways, so like, yeah, it was an amazing experience, and I just like humbled me so much because for the most part they're speaking French and I don't speak French. So, you know, I have to take the step back and be like super understanding and be patient, and you know,
Yep.
like, so it's a great experience. And I think that people should travel like it's all over, not just the places where like you have roots, you know.
Oh yeah.
Helps you.
Just get touches all over the world, because
Definitely.
it really, it helps you also just be in touch with reality.
Mhm.
And I think that when people have the ability to do that, they should just take advantage of it. And then if they don't, you know, you can definitely merge into that, because it's not like if you asked me a couple years ago, like I would have told you, oh no, I don't really travel much and I don't care to. And that's really because at the time I definitely didn't care to. But you know, when you get older, you kind of realize that, like, you know, being stuck in one spot isn't necessarily like, when is that really good for you? You know, merge.
Yeah.
So I definitely see what you mean by that. You know, see the world as much as you can, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But we're blessed to live in New York City, and
Oh yeah.
you know,
It's
I've been
cool.
to a couple of places, especially in America, a couple of cities, and I will say that there really isn't any place. Of course, this is going to be biased, but there isn't any city like New York City. So you definitely, like, we're all blessed here. If you don't want to travel too much, you could still experience so many different cultures. You could have friends from so many different backgrounds, go to so many different places to eat, and just, you know, experience so many different things that you don't necessarily have the opportunity to like experience in other places. So New York is definitely I appreciate New York for that. New York has its cons, but
New York has cons, but New York is definitely a broad place. Like, cause I think one of the coolest things I did in New York was probably it was a wine tour, and that was deep Long Island, deep east. I don't even know where we took a party bus and they drove us around, so we weren't even in just one spot. We were going to different locations. That was cool. Yeah,
that sounds fun. I don't drink too much these days, but I do love wine. Like, I could go for like 2 or 3 glasses of wine for sure.
Wine is good. I can say, like, cause I'm 25 now, and I'm back in school now. But when I was originally like right out of high school, like I was in University of Albany, I can say I was drinking.
Oh, for sure. That's the same thing for me. Like, 5 times a week. Like, I don't know how I was managing to get to work or how I had the money to afford it, but yeah.
It happened.
And I'll still party. I still, like, you know, I'll wake up and regret yesterday, but like still have had such an amazing time. I'll party, you know, like, but I try to take it a little more easy now.
Oh yeah, doing that every single that is not it. It's like, there's too much adult things to do, and that's just not possible. But,
what do you do for work? If you don't mind me asking.
I work right over here actually. I work at the jewelry store.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh about that. By the way, I laughed because of his hand gestures, not what you were saying. His hand gestures was funny.
I wasn't making fun of you. I just started looking around. You said over there, so I started like.
This was funny.
Oh no. I have worked in the company for a few years. I am diamond certified. I can tell you a million things about diamonds.
Okay.
I love working there. I think just working in golden diamonds, I think that's just cool for me, especially because, you know, I'm not like pressed for jewelry, but I have, since working there, like I have an understanding of, you know, fine jewelry and stuff like that. So it definitely merged my views on jewelry. It's definitely still the same because working in a store like that, you definitely learn a lot about people, and you can definitely see what kind of people put what needs first. And there will definitely be some people with the smallest pockets, and they'll empty it just for that piece. And I never understood that with a passion, because jewelry is one thing that the world doesn't need. It's the thing that the world wants. It's not needed at all. It doesn't actually benefit anyone. So when I see people, you know, make decisions like that, it really shows you how many people of that there are in the world. But there's definitely some people that, you know, take jewelry to the more sentimental meanings, like, you know, getting it for like christenings, or like, you know, getting custom pieces for people who have, you know, passed away and stuff like that. So, you know, there's people who definitely put jewelry in a kinder perspective than others. So that kind of field definitely broadened what I knew about people, but I feel like at the same time I'm also a people person. I study psychology right now. I plan to be an art therapist. I plan to work with kids, but right now I am working and in school, but I work at, like I said, I work at the store there. And yeah, I'm doing definitely a decent combo of the both right now, so it's calm.
That's really cool. It's definitely 2 different worlds right there. But it's interesting, and of course, if you study psychology, you can like input that into any part of your life, especially if other people are around. So I'm sure all day you're not purposely and not judging, but like you're like just analyzing
analyzing all day.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, guys, we're about to step into the second round, but before we do that, like I said, each person can touch the other person's body part, a body part that they say is okay and acceptable. So how about we start off with you, Celine? Why don't we? What do you want to feel from Tiambay?
My hand, I guess.
You want to feel his hand?
Yeah.
Mutual. Where are your hands?
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, cool. Tiambay?
Yeah, same thing, mutual.
All right, well, that was perfect. All right, bet. So next round, we're going to go into likes and dislikes within a relationship. You know, you're both adults. Y'all both have experienced, I'm sure, being in a relationship. And yeah, let's go into a little bit deeper context of certain things that we like about being in a relationship and certain things that we don't like about being in a relationship.
All right. I can take the lead, I suppose. I haven't been in too many relationships. I have been in a few pretty serious relationships, though. My most recent one actually was like 2 or 3 years ago, and it lasted like 3 years. But anyways, I kind of lost track of where I was trying to go with that. I'm definitely into relationships. He actually reached out to me and had mentioned like that he has an opportunity for a blind date. And I was like, I wasn't necessarily searching, but I'm definitely open to the opportunity. You know, I'm open for it for sure. That's my thing. That's my big thing. I try not to search for too many things. I try to be like really like just pleased with what I have. And definitely in like a relationship, I wouldn't want to like be looking necessarily for somebody, because then I feel like I'm gonna just be kind of using them for the things that I needed at the moment, opposed to like, you know, like if I just genuinely met somebody and it's like, you know, they're cool, you know, she's cute, I click with her, I actually want to see her again, opposed to I want to date somebody, oh, I'm going on a date, or I'm just gonna say yes and I accept this person and I like this person because I just wanted to be in a relationship, which I think a lot of people do. So I guess that's one thing that I like and dislike, I guess.
I understand that. That makes sense. I guess I have to be honest. I've never been in one. I learned the hard way that I love hard and that I can't provide that to everybody. I learned one hard way, and that's it. That was the if I saw signs of anything that just seemed mediocre or whatever, I walked away.
Yeah.
If I saw signs of just no growth, I walked away. It's just that, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, we're adults here and everyone understands what life consists of. And it's just like, if you don't, you know, want to view someone more than what you see, then that's an adult decision. Like, I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. If you choose at your day and age to not want to grow, then that's a choice you're choosing to make. I'm not going to try to convince you to grow as an individual. Like, so, you know, it's those kinds of, like, each time, you know, I came across that. And I guess that, like you said, like, the more you look for it, you're necessarily just trying to look for what you look for, but that doesn't mean you're going to come across the right thing. And so I guess that was my fault, because I guess I just kept trying to look for. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say that actually, because it's not like I purposely, like, you know, would really go outside looking for anything like that. But
Yeah.
if I did, you know, speak with a person or, you know, got on, you know, certain levels, I would want to speak with it more. I want to, you know, get to know them more. And that is where I would do the searching, really. And then if I saw, you know, those signs of adults not, you know, wanting more for themselves or anything like that, then that's when, you know, I just took that elsewhere, because what I'm not going to do is, you know, make the mistake of putting more into a person that they're not putting into themselves.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's really where I'm at currently, pretty much.
It's interesting that you haven't been in a relationship. There's definitely nothing like wrong with that. You're not missing much now. You'll meet the right person and everything, you know, it'll click and things will feel right and they'll treat you how you want to be treated, because at the end of the day, people who, you know,
like I want people to be for themselves first and then be for others, because I feel like the day you choose to put yourself second is the day you could potentially accidentally harm yourself, because you're not considering your feelings first. But I understand that in a relationship you have to consider yourself and someone else, and that's different. You do have the ability to do both at the same time without putting yourself behind. And I think that when I explain that to people, then they understand why I haven't dated yet. And it's just like, I really do want someone to view themselves as much as they should, like, because I am very big on growth. Like, this is peak of, like, my age is peak of where things are supposed to be growing, you know? So
Yeah.
this is important to be able to make those this is the start to make those changes, and like I don't want to be, you know, a repetition of my family's past or anything like that. And so like I just really learned from a lot of people around me of what mistakes not to make. And so I guess in a sense that did push me in a very independent spot. And but like I'm not like obnoxiously independent, and that I used to be, though I can say I used to be, and I did have to merge out of that because, you know, you don't want someone nagging around you about how independent they are. I had to learn that I had to not do that as much because that, you know, it's not necessary. And that is not how you should ever enter a relationship that should, like, you know, notioning like, hey, I was independent before you, don't do that, you know, kind of like I can't do that. So definitely there was a lot of growth within myself, but yeah, I feel like if like whenever I tell people that I don't date, like some people think it's weird because of my age, and I'm like, well, frankly, I mean, I've never been, I have been hurt, but like, you know, I haven't been like hurt, like it wasn't like, you know, over something that is something common sense. So like, at least I can say I'm proud of that. Like I'm not, you know, I'm not Delulu.
All right, so like for the way that the conversation is going, I'm not sure if I could ask this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway because I'm that type of person. And I'm getting really tight with this fucking guy upstairs because he keeps fucking knocking shit.
It's okay.
It's fucking annoying. Like we all hear you, bro. You can probably hear me that. You know what I mean? But whatever. What are certain sexual things that you like and dislike?
First off, maybe have you been sexually active?
Yes.
Okay, just you never know if you haven't dated. Maybe you're just like,
yo, sorry, that was funny as fuck. All right, okay. Continue.
All right, so do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
I can start. Dislikes. I do not like nothing in my ass. I don't like. I don't. Oops. I don't.
You couldn't see me, but I just like curled up, like laughing.
There's no reason for nothing to be in there. There's no reason. That was not one of the parts Jesus made that for, but.
the things to come out of only.
Other than that, I do a great job, shoot. But I'll continue. You go.
The dislikes. I can't really think of anything. I'm definitely like in bed a pleaser. I'd prefer to be the one like pleasing the other person. I get pleasure from that. But I guess like if it is your turn to kind of perform for a few seconds, like maybe just like be a little enthusiastic. Like sometimes people are just, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise,
that's fair. That's supposed to be fair. But I get what you're saying.
Things that I like, obviously I love oral. I love having like my balls sucked, played with. Definitely feels like really good.
Do you like your nipples sucked?
I've only had that happen like once or twice, and at first I was like, you know, through like watching porn in the past, like why do people like even do that shit? But it does kind of feel
like it, and I learned that from someone else, and that person liked it because person was the first person that told me, and I'm like, what? You want me to what? And I was just like, oh, okay. And then they were thrilled. I was just like, all right,
That's
shit.
funny.
You know, apparently I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm also like, I'm freaky experimental, so like yeah. Person like does it for the first time, it's like, oh, like you never did that before, that was cool, like I like that. So yeah, the first time I had my nipple licked, it was pretty chill, but it's not something that I'm like ever really thinking about, like, oh, is she gonna do that shit? Do I gotta ask?
Oh wait.
Are you like more rough, soft?
Rough because I lost my virginity to a Jamaican, so there's just...
So that's just all you know?
God, I'm not gonna lie. That shouldn't have been the first one. I feel like I should have merged with like a regular average individual. Because it was like after you go from Jamaica, like what did I go to after that? And I'm like, I went to it was a regular American after that, and I was just like, oh man, like this is not the same. But I do like rough. I like, I guess like the average too. I haven't been too fan of a slow. But I guess maybe that's because I haven't been introduced to a slow that I like, maybe? You know?
Slow seems more like kind of like intimate, romantic.
Yeah.
Rough could be intimate, but like rough usually ain't looking too romantic.
I definitely do a great job ahead. I do a great job. I'll tell you that much. I do a great job.
That's good to know.
Put a
If
crown
ever,
on.
that's good to know.
I like giving head by choice. I don't know. I think I just know I do a good job, so I'm like, ooh, okay. I like back shots a lot, and that's because I guess, I don't know. I guess that just works a lot more. That and missionary is really what does it a lot.
Gets it.
I love making out, tongue all, and yeah, I guess that would be all the likes.
I like what I'm hearing. Personally, yeah. So I like it rough. I like to like be treated rough, definitely. I'm kind of packing, so I know that sometimes like I can't be too rough with a girl. So I usually just like ease into it, and I'm definitely like real.
Like you're big and like bulky, like mostly bulky.
I'm big dick. I'm packing.
Oh.
So what I'm saying is like to be, if you have a big dick and you're fucking somebody rough, usually you could kind of So for the most part, I'm usually a little more like chilled out. But you just play it by like the vibe. If I see their face looks like it's pleasurable, then you go a little harder. If they like that, you go a little harder. If it seems like I'm giving them a little too much, then I'll chill out a little bit.
Okay.
I'm very about like respect and like but I also love giving head. I wanted to put that out there. I don't know why, but yeah, I love giving head.
You could put that out there and go ahead and put that out there. Sure.
Which is so weird that like women complain a lot that men don't like to like eat pussy. It's like
a lot don't.
That doesn't make sense to me. Like,
Then what
are
make
you
sense
attracted to? The idea of a woman? Because vagina is woman, dude.
But I think some people say they don't like it because they really don't do a good job.
That could be it too. They could be intimidated.
There was one person that he didn't do a good job, and so he didn't like offer it, and so I was never pressed that he didn't offer it because he just didn't do a good job. And like the thing is, though, I even said though, when I said stay here, and he did not. He went around. I was like, damn. Well, that's really directionless. I mean, I'm like, listen, I get it. I'm not good with a GPS, but damn, come on now, come on.
That
now.
is not.
That
is not what arrows pointing.
I am not Siri spinning in a circle. I told you right here.
That's funny. I mean, shit. We gotta experience the bad times to really appreciate the good ones, right?
Oh man, what's your worst story? Because I have a worst story.
I have a worst story. Sex-wise worst story? Okay. I haven't had too many like bad stories, but one time like kind of had like a hookup with this chick. Probably met her on like Tinder or something. This was like 6 or 7 years ago, so this is why I don't remember exactly where I met her. But it was definitely off of like OkCupid or Tinder. Anyways, so she's like, I roll up some weed. We start smoking. She starts giving me head. Pretty good head, and then we finish smoking, she stops giving me head, and then like I'm getting ready to like give her head, and then she just randomly is like no, like you don't have to like do anything down there, like you don't even really have to like touch down there, like I mean I kind of like my hands, but like I could still fuck her with a condom, but that kind of just like threw me off. I also could have been high, but I just kind of was like, wait, does she maybe have like an STD or some shit, and that's why she like didn't want me to like be near her vagina at all. So I kind of like right then and there was respectfully, but was like, listen, that kind of just like was really weird and turned me off. So I think that like maybe next week or so we can fuck, but like right now we can't fuck because I'm not catching an STD off of, which just seems like a kind of sketchy vibe,
That is sketchy.
Yeah. I felt bad afterward because like she came all the way to me, gave me head. Basically I was the one that smoked, and then that kind of thing happened, and then she had left. But it definitely was not intentional.
But like she knew she was coming over to tell you not to
touch
it for half
like,
the part. So it's just that is sketchy. That's man.
Yeah. How about you? Horrible experience.
That's so. I was high as a kite, and that's because I chose to be high as a kite, and he wasn't. And because I smoked, I was smoking while I was outside, and then he was just kind of just chilling inside kind of thing. And then we started up whatever, and it didn't click until the morning after, because I was that high, and then I didn't realize that I also accidentally slept over too. It was a mix of it was a mix of just a lot in the moment. But so we're there, and then I'm like, in the moment I was just like, oh well, this is weird. I'm on hands and knees, and he's now positions himself where he's doing regular back shots, right? And then he merges into, like, he didn't pull out, he was still in there. He merges into him like half sitting on my on like my backish, like right here. He was like half sitting on me, and then he's like kind of like riding me, and I was just like, you just rode me like a fucking horse, and I'm a woman. And I was like, you had no business doing that. It clicked the next morning, and I'm like, I as a woman just got rode like a horse. I as a woman just got rode like a horse. It's supposed to be the other way around. And I was like,
I'm sorry to
nah.
laugh. I'm sorry to laugh.
Oh, nah. I don't even remember how I ended up sleeping
traumatic.
over.
He should have at least asked, like, yeah, I'm about to do some.
Like, it wasn't even like, it was
shit.
just so weird. And like the morning I realized, and I'm like, that just happened. And I laughed, and I'm like, wow, that happened. Wow, like.
I just got rode.
Like, I just got rode. I was like, this is interesting. And he didn't hear from me again. I was like, well, there's that. We'll just throw that in the book of something that happened to me.
Well, luckily it was kind of like a funny story too, though. Like,
yeah,
wasn't
not
too,
a bad
like,
story.
You know, it wasn't
Just a never again.
noted. It definitely was on my like list of things to do.
No,
like,
because he cuffed. Oh, that's the detail I missed. He cuffed his legs in front of me, so he was back here, and his legs were cuffed here in front of me.
I can't wait to watch this video and see what you're talking about.
Nah, that was weird.
It sounds like you liked it a little bit, which is fine, but it sounds like
in the moment, I guess it just the weed helped it just helped it continue, because literally that's what it was. It did continue.
Maybe it was just so funny that that's why you have a positive experience out of it.
I do have a positive experience from it, but it is.
Just say one more like each.
It's like relationship wise.
Like your choice.
Choking.
Like being choked.
Yes. Yes.
I like being bit, but like not too hard. There's been times where I was like, yo,
You're not like an
I kind
animal.
of just got like assaulted, but like, I'm still like, you know, here.
You are not a dog, you are a person.
All right, guys. Now we're about to head into the third round. But before we do that, you already know what's about to happen. Are you okay with Tiambay going first?
Oh, yeah.
Let's switch it up. What do you want to touch, Tiambay?
What do I want to touch? Let me feel your neck, if you don't mind.
Yo, bro, I wish you could see how she got up.
All right.
Yo, okay. What would you like to touch?
Arm.
Let me put my shirt. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so now we're about to go into the third round, right? The third round is whatever you guys want. Now you're at a point where you know where y'all from, names, what y'all do, likes and dislikes. Now this is just freestyle. You know what I mean?
Freestyle.
Freestyle. Okay. And after we do that, we can unleash the blindfolds. But go ahead.
Cool. All right, so what are your goals in life, if you have any goals? Still young, so you could still be completely just...
I want to finish my master's to help those kids. I want to go into art therapy to help children. My goal is to help children. I have literally 1,000,000% patience for children. I don't know if I want kids. I don't know if I want kids, but I know I have patience for kids and I can be around kids. I've already worked in school settings with children with disabilities. Cutest little kindergartners. Oh man.
I love kids as well. I've worked with kids growing up my whole life, just so you know.
Kids love me.
point there.
I'm for the children, for sure.
There's a
I see
future.
myself being an auntie, definitely, and I already am. But like, I don't know if I see myself being a mom. I feel like that might be where I could put the line, because what I don't want is to feel like I have to be a mom because I'm good with kids, you know?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think I see that 100%, but you know, you never know who changes your opinion on that. Or, you know, when you get older, like they always say, well, most women say no, but then eventually they change their mind. So, you know, you never know. You never know.
Definitely.
But yeah.
And for the most part, like, you're a psychologist, so you know this, like, or if you like psychology, so you would know this. Like, most humans are very, like, narrow-minded. So most people just kind of have a child so that they have this idea in this head that, like, oh, I did something, and, you know, but they don't necessarily raise the child properly.
Exactly.
Or blah, blah,
Some
blah.
people are
Yeah.
mothers and fathers, but not everyone is mom and dad.
Exactly.
So.
I think, personally, it's more important to just be impactful in people's lives.
Exactly.
So if you never become a mother, but for the next, even a year, but for the next 20 years of your life, you're in a school impacting
kids,
15
those kids that remember me.
That's even more amazing sometimes,
That
because
is
you're
more
given, you
meaningful.
know, people who might not have that outlet. They might go home and, like, you know, things aren't so good, but when they're in school right now, they're with you and you
I
give
know
them a
that'll
great...
give me the warmest feeling. I'm here.
Yeah, that's generally, like, I love
What are
impacting
your
people in
goals?
general, but that's why I love kids, you know, give back, and hopefully in the
Literally, it's
future,
giving
like, you know,
back.
yeah.
What are your goals?
Yeah, so goal-wise, children, I'm not necessarily sure if I would want. I do love the idea of, like, just thinking about, like, a little Tiambay running around one day. I think it'd be, like, adorable. I do love kids, so I know that I'd be, like, I'm sure a lot of people say this, but I feel like I know that I'd be, like, a great dad. I have nephews who are, like, 2 or 3 right now, and I'm like, every time I see them, like, I just spend the whole time with them. My mom will be around. I won't have seen her for, like, 2 weeks. And, of course, I want to see her, but it's just, like, I'm just so attached to them and, like, playing with them and just, like, so I end up sometimes not even really hanging out with her. But anyways, so goal-wise, not sure about kids. I definitely want to work with children. My father's a teacher. He's a basketball coach. So here and there, I'll, like, go to his school, and I also study martial arts. So sometimes I'll, like, give the kids little instructions, you know, on that, or basketball. Life goals, like I said, I want to have 2 houses, or a house and an apartment. Continue working where I'm working. I love my job. It's a really cool career.
Seems awesome.
I do enjoy it. I do a few other things, but they're not as important to me. Work-wise, like modeling and fashion design. They're cool, but they're more like hobbies than things that...
Understandable.
Yeah.
That's like me in art. Like, I do everything art, but, you know, I don't want it to be, I don't care if it doesn't become a career. I'm happy where it is, just me doing it. So I see you doing your modeling, and, you know, I see that.
I've also been skateboarding for like 16 years now, which when I first started skateboarding, I was like, I'm going to become a professional one day. That's my goal. And as I got older, I just started to really just appreciate everything that skateboard had done for me. And I kind of, not that, like, I didn't lose any passion for skateboarding, but I just, like, lost the passion to become professional. I just wanted to, like, keep having skateboard as this, like, outlet that makes me feel so good. And that's, you know, that's all that I really wanted from it at that point. Not to try to make a career out of it. And I'm getting hurt all the time when I'm skateboarding, so it's better off that I didn't try to.
I feel like it's important to keep that distance, like, okay, this is something I'll just keep as a hobby, and then this is something I'll make as a career. Like, not everything you enjoy has to be forced into a career. So definitely understand that.
And it doesn't mean you have to, like, stop progressing at it. You can continuously try to, like, become better and better and better and better, you know. But you don't have to, like, force yourself to be like
I have to be 100% perfect.
That's what I always tell, like, friends that want to, like, are trying to start up a business. It's like, listen, man, you need to have a job right now so that you have money, and then slowly start up this little business that you want. Because otherwise, if you love skateboarding, that's what you want to do, and you're depending on making money off of skateboarding right now, but you're not that good at it, or it's just not there right now, you're going to eventually end up hating skateboarding because you needed money, because you were depending on money. But if you got a job, you're financially stable, you skated as much as you could when you could, and you got to that level of skateboarding where you can now make money off of it, you never hit that point where skateboarding was stressful and it was really just like the financial side of it that almost took away the love you had for a passion, you know? So, yeah, it's just another thought of mine.
Just a random fun fact. I have ADHD. It just kind of clicked that I kept jittering in his chair this whole time. And I was just like, oh, I didn't tell you that. I'm going to tell you that. So, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I'm definitely very energetic. I'm extremely energetic. I'm literally a walking battery. I work out every day because I either walk somewhere really far on purpose or I actually like do like a full real workout, but I'm always working out because if I don't work out like at some point throughout the day, like it's just like bottled up energy, and then I literally can't sleep. But even then, even if I work out, I also still might not sleep. But I literally like throughout growing up and then through college, like everyone saw me not sleep. Like I take something to sleep. Because I'm literally extremely energized. Yeah. Like I'm okay with functioning on like 4 hours of sleep because like I can. Like I just my attention span is I don't know how much you know about ADHD. I know a lot of people know the general, oh, you don't sit still, oh, you don't pay attention, you know, the real
more
generic
general kind of things, yeah.
But I could definitely, I don't know, if we get there, you know, definitely educate you more.
Educate me on it.
Because it's so broad. And like, I even like, especially during ADHD Awareness Month, like I'll educate my entire IG, like literally, I'll do like a fun fact a day kind of thing. And people love that. Like I get a lot of like reactions and comments and questions and this and that during that time because I tell people things that they've literally never heard. And they'll be like, really? And I'm like, yep, there we go.
And it's interesting. People want to learn, or at least hopefully they do, you know, want to be understanding.
I just tell people because I definitely can come off like definitely different. I come off different, like, and you can kind of just tell like, okay, there's something different. Okay. And so like I just tell people because I feel like that, like if I do, like you might understand, like, oh, if you ever just see me, like if I'm quiet randomly or if I'm like loud randomly or like, you know, something, or if I'm just like extremely energized. Like, because there'll be times where, like, I'll be in a room, like, and I'm just standing, like, like me sitting in this chair, like, I've been doing a pretty good job. Let's be real. I could have stood up a long time ago, but yeah, I just like to tell
just
people.
Saying the whole time she was fiddling with a recorder. This whole time. I hope you weren't fucking up with the recording device, actually.
I hope not. I didn't spin anything. I left it like this. I was just moving it from hand to hand.
Because you was fucking with that shit the whole time. All right, okay.
That's so funny. But yeah, you know, communication is key. So if you tell, if it's what you want to do, to tell people about it, you know, it's only gonna give them a better understanding. And like you said, you know, you may do something that most people may not have ever seen before. So you telling them beforehand, it's like, oh, and that's that. And now it all
I feel like
sense,
it generally sums up and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
There we go.
I'm definitely on both spectrum, like ends. I'm very like, could be chill, but I'm also very like energetic. I love to be like, I'm playful. If I'm at a park, like I might just climb a tree. Why not? I exercise 5 times a week. Usually I'm at the gym for like 2 hours, and one of those hours is usually like I'm just like hitting the bag, you know, punching bag, kicking. So yeah, just like burning a lot of energy, and then I go home, eat, and don't fall asleep until like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's genuinely like I love it. Sometimes I'm like, bro, you have to be up in 3 hours. Like that idea, when I think about that, it's like,
Yeah.
But otherwise, like I'm happy as shit until 4 in the morning, like, you know. So who knows, maybe I have it too. Maybe I just wasn't diagnosed yet. Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, do you play any sports, or like, what are your hobbies? Never mind, do you play any sports? What are your hobbies? Do you like to paint?
I love Drawing most.
Drawing, okay.
I do painting as well. I have acrylic, I have watercolor. I use mostly acrylic. I had oil. Oil I love, but man, I'm a messy artist, and oil is not coming off that easy, especially when your clothes get done. I have done my fair share of sculpting. I think sculpting is cool. I definitely do need to work on it more. I have done my fair share of photography. I love photography.
Maybe you can shoot me sometime.
Yeah, exactly.
Sculpting. I actually just looked up a pottery spot the other day in my neighborhood because I was like, I want to start doing a little more. Especially it's like winter time. People tend to like end up just hibernating, which is fine. I love doing it, but
it's so bad because it's like you kind of hibernate the whole winter. It's
yeah,
just like, work
it's
inside
still
because
life.
it's too
still...
cold. I get it.
But yeah, that's cool, sculpting.
What are your hobbies?
So I had mentioned that I've been skateboarding for like 16 years now. I love video games. I don't have as much time to play video games these days, but...
Which games?
So my favorite game ever is like Dark Souls 3 or like Legend of Zelda, Skyrim. I'm very into like RPG, which is like role-playing games, running around with a sword, kill dragons and fight goblins and shit. But I also like first-person shooters, Call of Duty, horror games. But yeah, so hobby-wise, like I said, I do also love video games. I like anime. I'm trying to get more and more into it.
I got you.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a few and like binged the fuck out of them.
Which ones?
So my favorite ever is Samurai Champloo. I'm not sure if you ever heard of that.
That one I skipped over.
You'll
skip
love
over
it.
sometimes.
Believe me, yeah, you'll love it though. It's only one season, unfortunately, though. So, my favorite ever is that, but also Berserk. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Berserk.
I heard Berserk.
Yeah, I've. Are you familiar with it?
Sorta.
Okay.
Sorta.
I was just gonna geek out a little bit, like I have a tattoo of Berserk.
Oh.
But
I'm tattooed too.
Okay, yeah.
I did too. Oh, tattoos. Add that to the list. Sorry about that.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, we got a couple of tattoos. Martial arts. I've been studying a few different martial arts. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, wrestling, Aido, which Aido is Japanese, and you actually use the katana. So I know how to use the katana, which is the Japanese sword. You watch anime, so you gotta know it. I low-key kind of am an anime character, just so you know. Nah. Otherwise, hobbies.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
So now we're leading into the finals.
The great reveal.
This is the finals. Wait, don't. What you doing? Wait, why are you so eager? Wait.
Take it off.
I said after every single session, y'all get to touch one body part. You're not paying attention to the rules. All right, but you can go first. What do you want to touch?
Me?
Celine. Yeah.
I don't know. You can go first.
My hands are clean, and I'll use the back side of my hand. Can I like rub your face? Not like rub, like.
All right, I got you, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
I have no ass, so don't.
I'm
not gonna really want to touch my head.
Stomach.
Shit. Are you gonna stand up? Wait, time out. She was bad ready for that shit. Okay, bro, hold on. Stand up straight right here. Stand up right here. All right, you gotta go up a little bit.
Am I moving my hand?
Wait, whatever you want. Boom, you got it?
Okay.
That was funny. I was like, I wasn't even facing the right way.
All right, guys, so sit down. And before, can you get a little bit closer?
Yeah.
All right, so before you guys unveil this, you guys gonna do the unveil, and then you get to chop it up for a little bit, and then we close out. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So 3, 2, 1, unveil.
Wow, it's so brain.
Really brain.
I'll give you a second so I can adjust your eyes.
You get used to it.
Where are we?
Dang.
It's just nice to meet you.
Have you guys ever had that experience before?
What's that?
No.
Doing this?
No, this is my first blind date ever.
Very first. I almost said no too. I told them, I was just like, I was gonna say no, but then I was just like, I never did this before. Might as well just say I did it before.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah, he hit me up the other day and I was like, all right. I wanted to do a podcast anyway, so I was like, yeah, I'll try it out.
I'm still
It'll
gonna
be
have you
fun.
back.
Yeah, I'll definitely come back. And this was a lot of fun, so like definitely a good experience. Yeah.
So, you guys had a good time?
Definitely, yeah. I had a good time.
Alright, so yeah.
Ago, it's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know. So yeah.